my joyful tidings of the golden future time. Soon or late the day is coming, tyrant man shall be overthrown, and the fruitful fields of England shall be trod by peace alone. Rings shall vanish from our noses, and the harness from our back. Hidden spurs shall rest forever, cruel wings no more shall crack. Riches more than mind can picture, wheat and barley, oats and hay. Clover beans and mangled wurzels shall be ours upon that day. Bright will shine the fields of England, purer shall its waters be. Sweeter yet shall blow its breezes on the day that sets us free. For the day we almost labored, though we die before the grave. Cows and horses, geese and turkeys, all must toil for freedom's sake. Beasts of England, beasts of Ireland, beasts of every land and clime, hearken well and spread my tidings of the golden future time.
Please be seated. 2024. In the matter of the hearing of the estate of Manor Farm, first to the stand we will call Old Major. Old Major, you may take the stand. Yeah, where the stand go? Bailiff, please swear in the witness.
Please put your hand on the Bible. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
All right. State Representative, you may question the witness.
Okay. So for the jury, could you summarize the ideas you presented to the other animals before their revolution?
Yes, I may. Before the revolution, I had a dream of a society built upon animals, for the animals, with equal opportunity. And after my passing, that was not foreseen, as Napoleon truly brought our farm into the dirt. Animals were suffering. My comrades were brought to the glue factories. They were bred. There was famine, and it truly is disheartening to see.
Okay. How did Snowball's ideology reflect yours before he was driven off the farm?
Well, he really believed in progress, and progress is one of the most important things for animalism. And the most important thing was the idea of the windmill, which was Snowball's idea originally before it was taken. And there were just lots of ideas such as that, of like, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying the farm greatly suffered under Napoleon's leadership, and you believe it would have better followed your ideals if Snowball had been in charge?
Yes.
Thank you. Sure, yeah.
I wrote a statement. Can I stand up for this?
You may.
Thank you. Comrades, you know me and I know you. I once had a dream that changed the course of this farm for the better. But is it truly better than before? What? No. Don't look at it. Well, it was until tyrants took over and deceived you all. Comrades, we are gathered here today to discuss the future of this lovely farm. Napoleon has brought shame and despair on this land. We must liberate ourselves from his tyranny. The grass has grown dry, the wheat grows thick, and the milk turns sour. For what? For the pleasure of Napoleon and his filthy humanoid swines. I stand before you today as we discuss this great farm of ours. In its prime, she was a mighty, mangled, wurzel-wielding paradise. But our peaceful society has been poisoned by this unforgiving, two-legged traitor known as Napoleon. You do not deserve that crown of yours. It is only won by competence. Listen here, comrades. I beg you to consider these terms that I speak to you now. The deeds of the farm will be returned to the care of Snowball, the rightful protector of Animal Farm. The original commandments for which the society was built on will be restored, and all may prosper in the wealth of the farm, no matter the species. we are not the beasts of Napoleon, we are the beasts of England.
Thank you, Major. You may step down. Next, we would like to call bailiff. Please swear in the witness. Make sure he is stable.
Please put your hand on the book.
Oh, yeah, you can't see.
Do you promise to solemnly tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
You may be seated.
Okay, thank you. So you were originally quite dedicated to Napoleon's regime, is that correct?
Yes, I believe Comrade Napoleon is our king on top.
Yeah, so when you fell down into the quarry while trying to build the windmill, what did Napoleon do then?
What did he do? He rushed to my side. He reassured me that, everything will be better, that I'll be back in working condition, and that we will fix the windmill.
Yes, however, after that, you were loaded into a van, correct? I believe it was the van of
he used to help me get better.
Alfred Simmons. However, didn't you attempt to escape that van?
In which I did.
And you heard that van said horse slaughter on the side, correct?
I had no recollection of that memory, as I cannot read.
Okay. So what happened after you were loaded into the van?
My memory is hazy, as always, but I remember the van opening and it was dark. Comrades need me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you managed to escape the van and no medical help was given once you were taken in, is that correct?
That's good.
And you believe Napoleon was at the lead of all these decisions.
Good.
You believe your sending away in the van was a result of Napoleon's decision, correct?
I believe, yes, I believe that. I believe that Napoleon had every interest in mind to help me get better, to recover, so that I could have my comrades. Comrades need me. I may not be the smartest horse, but...
And doesn't that differ from what you actually received once sent away, which was, no additional medical care at all?
I don't know what.
Okay, I rest my questions.
Thank you. Thank you, you may step down. Next, we'd like to call Squealer to the stand. You swear in the witness.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Point. You may see that.
So, you were Napoleon's right-hand man, correct?
Yes, indeed. I was a member of the great revolution that Napoleon managed to carry through.
And so, you were the one who carried out all of his decisions.
I passed along the word, a speaker of a great person.
Okay, so you would have been involved in the decision to send Boxer to a horse slaughter, is that correct?
I would object to that because in Boxer's decision, he had said that the only reason he didn't receive medical conditions is because he was in the position to be sending them and then ended up not getting it because the comrades needed it.
Order in the court.
I have no opinion. So, didn't the van you sent Boxer in say horse slaughter on the side?
As I recall correctly, as I established to all the colonists, it said horse slaughter on the side because of the property of the van, who it belonged to. Henceforth, it wasn't intentionally for them.
Well, wouldn't it seem that you would remove that before sending one of your own there?
As I recall, it was just an option of transportation, and the methods of gathering such a vehicle could be considered, but it's not necessary.
But you do understand how that paints a picture of your and Napoleon's regime.
It would paint a picture if the witness hadn't directly testified that the van was not specifically sent there.
Yes, but didn't he exit the van before reaching the final destination?
Yes,
So Boxer would have been unaware of where it was going because he never got there,
but
correct?
that is correct.
You may read your statement.
My statement. My client, Napoleon, should have the right to the farm because he was democratically elected. In the beliefs of our animalism society, we believe in democracy and republic and people getting a say. Napoleon was unanimously elected in the first election this republic has ever had. Napoleon has also defended his country with military service and honor. He has received the titles of Animal Hero First Class and Animal Hero Second Class, all inscribed to himself. He has believed in justice for the society and has continually kept lies and deceit, such as the lies told by the people that Snowball had instated. He told lies. He destroyed what was true. He was in secret coalition with Jones from the very start. And throughout this all, we pursued and ended up creating something better than Jones had ever done. Under Jones, we suffered, we perished, we were killed, and most importantly, we had no freedom. But under Napoleon, we gained rights, we gained freedom, and we gained comrades.
Order in the court. Alright, next, I'd like to call Mr. Whipper to the stand.
Let's go.
Who's that?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Maybe see
Yeah. So you did frequent business with the residents of Animal Farm, correct?
Not all of them, just Napoleon.
And what was your perception of the living conditions on the farm? Were they similar to the other farms you visited?
I haven't really visited many other farms because there aren't many other animal run farms. But when I was led through the storerooms, all the barrels of grain seemed full to the brim. So I'd say that the pictures are
Okay. I conclude my question.
Thank you. You may be seated. Next, we'd like to call to the stand Clover.
Oh.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So Napoleon had control over the decision to send Boxer away, correct?
Yes.
And you never saw Boxer after he was taken away. You may read your statement.
Hello, comrades. I have been a strong supporter of Animal Farm since the beginning. I remember the dreaded days under Mr. Jones's reins, literally. Us horses were constantly shuffled around to till, mow, and haul. Boxer and I, being the oldest horses in this courtroom, know exactly how poor the working conditions were before animalism. We understand. The establishment of animalism meant we were free. We knew it would be hard to get there, and it certainly was. But the promise of a new world riding alongside us, it wasn't hard to fall in line. But comrades, hear me nay. We were led astray. How long has it been since you have felt relaxed? How long has it been since you felt full? How long has it been since you were heard by those parties in charge? And who, dear comrades, is responsible for all of these problems? All hooves point to Napoleon. This pig, dear comrades, while a strong and persuasive leader, is a corrupt one. Just like our stomachs, his promises are empty. That is why I am flabbergasted that Comrade Boxer has chosen to represent him in this case. Dear Boxer, you surely remember when the long hours of hard labor and the hurt you felt. After the creation of the windmill, we horses were expecting a world free from toil and physical expense. Instead, Boxer, when you were retired, Napoleon shipped you off to be slaughtered. And though I cannot read or write, and all I have accomplished in this little life of mine is putting stones to mortar, I know this is just not right. It has taken me a long time to realize Napoleon is a lying, cheating monster. And frankly, dear comrades, I don't know who I can trust. For this reason, I believe the deed should be given to no one. This farm is not safe in any paw, hoof, or hand. We are, after all, as Major says, beasts of England, not beasts of Manor Farm. Oh, wait. Am I dismissed?
You may be seated. Would you like to call Muriel?
Please place a hand on the side. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please.
Muriel, as I understand you statement,
Yeah.
you may read that statement this time.
Well, one thing that many of my comrades know for me to do is my ability to lead. And during my time on the farm, I've been asked by many to lead the commandments. And some of them just did not sit right with me. Back after Napoleon and the other pigs started sleeping in bed, Clover asked me to read the fourth commandment. And what I read was that no animal shall sleep in bed with sheep. But it didn't sit right with me. From what we could remember, was, whether my memory was foggy or it wasn't there, but with sheep, it didn't sit right. It wasn't always there. Well, maybe my memory was foggy, but again, after Napoleon executed the so-called traitors for supporting Snowball, I was asked again to read another commandment. This time, the sixth one. And if I no animal shall be killed without the cause. No animal shall kill another animal without cause. Because that wasn't part of the original idea proposed by old Major. And without cause, it felt like something that shouldn't have ever been there. I don't think it was. And the dogs were helping. I don't know what he was doing then, but a few days after, I was rereading the commandments on that wall. And, well, the fifth commandment, it said that no animal shall drink alcohol with excess. But I could never remember with excess being there before. It might be my memory, but also Squealer was just up muted. The question is, were they changing it? And I believe so. I believe that Napoleon was having Squealer change the commandments and changing and oppressing us other animals of Animal Farm. And the oppressive leader cannot stand.
Objection, Your Honor.
And
Overruled.
And these
Yes.
ideas, the ideas that better fall in line with the original commandments were the ones the whole Major and Snowball was upholding them. I noticed these differences until Snowball was pushed off of the farm, was removed from the farm, which is why I believe that the deed of the farm should go back to Snowball.
Thank you, Muriel. For the sake of time, you may be seated. Oh, did you have one?
Just one.
Go ahead.
When Boxer was taken away, what did you read on the side of the van that took him?
Alfred Simmons plus slide.
Thank you.
All right, now we'd like to call Moses to the stand. No one's to the stand.
He's ready to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Maybe see
Moses, have you prepared a statement?
Yeah.
You're permitted to read it.
Animals so magical up in the sky. And unfortunately, the animals that contend the deed, both Snowball and Napoleon, they won't let me tell of this magical place. I was shooed away by Snowball. And though I was permitted to say some of my stories under Napoleon's farm, he still dismissed my stories. I recount the tales of a place so magical in the sky, where the trees grow caramel apples and the rivers run with chocolate. Jones let me tell these stories. He let me tell these stories to let the animals know of what happens after their toils and sweats in the field.
Amen.
Do you have any questions?
Amen.
All right, thank you, Moses. You may be seated. All right, now we'd like to call to the stand Mr. Alfred Simmons.
Blasphemy.
Simmons, you may take the stand.
Blasphemy.
Please place your hand on the book. He's ready to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You may be seated.
Mr. Simmons, do you have a statement? Okay, you're permitted.
Good morning, Your Honor, the jury. My name is Alfred Simmons, and I am in favor of Mr. Pilkington getting the rights to the farm. I do not know much about the situation, as I am just the one who was assigned to take Boxer, which he ended up escaping. When I first came to the farm, I was told that there's an old sick animal named Boxer who needed to be taken away and put out of misery. The farm seemed to be well ordered, but all the animals seemed to be treated as if they were slaves, except for the pigs. I knew something was off when the only interaction I had was with the pigs. Anyways, in my opinion, it makes no sense for an animal to own a farm. How could they possibly be sustainable to survive and live? I don't know much, but I'm just here for when it comes for the animals' time to die.
Okay, so, who specifically contracted you to kill Boxer?
The pigs. Napoleon.
Thank you.
Boxer, I told you, bro.
All right, next we'd like to call Jesse to the stand.
put your hand on your book. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do you prepare a statement? Give you a minute to read it.
I, Jesse, speak on behalf of Pincher, Bluebell, and me. Under Napoleon's reign, we were taken advantage of and oppressed. And if this reign continues, we are going to work until we die, with no reward of retirement. And I personally have no family to comfort me in my old age because he took my only puppies. He turned them into brainwashed savages who do his bidding. His bidding, which involves killing other animals, which was against the original commandments. And I should know the original commandments because us dogs only cared to learn to read the commandments and only the commandments. He took them as soon as they were weaned, and he told us he would be responsible for their education, and we trusted him. And I know now that that was a mistake. I remember the moment we saw the dogs chase out Snowball. It took all us animals nearly a day to realize those dogs were my babies, but now they were more fierce looking, and they had brass-studded collars on. I remember the heartbreak I felt once I noticed they wagged their tails at Napoleon the same way the other dogs wagged their tails at Jones. We must put an end to this dictatorship and misery under Napoleon's reign. We were miserable under Jones, and we are miserable under Napoleon. I think Snowball should get Animal Farm. We were not taken for granted, nor used during Snowball's leadership. He kept us working, but we were fed, happy, and appreciated. Unlike with Napoleon, when we were working extremely hard, yet were underfed, underappreciated, and unhappy. Us hardworking animals deserve a farm and a leader who will treat us with respect and equality. Snowball should be the rightful owner to Animal Farm.
4 legs good, 2 legs better.
4 legs good, 2 legs better.
Order. Do you have any questions? Follow-ups? Nope. All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Beast of England!
Beast of England.
Next, we'd like to call Molly to the stand.
Oh, wow.
Please face the palm. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated.
Molly, have you prepared a statement?
Why, yes, I have.
You are permitted to read that statement at this time.
Thank you. I don't think anyone should get the farm. At least none of these animals that acted like any sort of human creation was immoral. All I used to wear my bows and eat sugar cubes and apples, and I was punished for it. When Mr. Jones ran the farm, all of the animals were fed a normal amount of food. When the pigs were in charge, it was always a ration, and I got as much as I actually wanted. And when I went after what I wanted, they chased me off like the farm like I was a good animal. But if anyone must run the farm, let me be a human again, or at least someone who will let me wear my bows. I eat sugar cubes and apples. How I hated when they stopped giving the horses their fair share of apples, knowing how much we loved our apples. God forbid a woman goes after what she wants. I was shunned for not wanting to work so hard all day, even when the work would add up to nothing over and over and over again. And then, there was always more work to do, no time to rest, or be free, or to wear my bows. Those parents took my bows from me! And even when I loved my fellow animals and hate who I truly was, I was still punished! They ran me off the farm! Maybe I need to go be a show pony. I want to be clean. I want to eat sugar cubes and apples. And I want to be taken care of without doing too much work, or being scared of making too much noise. Staying with Pilkington was nice. I was saying. He did give me the things I wanted. Maybe he should run the farm. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. Maybe have it seated.
Yeah.
Alright, officials, please remove the bell from the record. We'd like to call Mr. Jones to the stand. Order in the court.
Beast of England! Heart.
I don't remember the rest of the words.
Heart.
Mr. Jones, have you prepared a statement?
Yes, yes.
Maybe read that at this time.
Hold on.
Is that a cigarette?
This is who took my farm from me. These pork chops, these hams took my farm from me. You know what they did? They took their out, and they took them and they shoved them right up my butt. If that doesn't sound like a violation, I don't know what is.
Venus board!
Your Honor, I'm here today because I deserve my farm back. This was my farm, it was my daddy's farm, it was my granddaddy's farm, and it wasn't my great-granddaddy's because he was in prison, but that don't matter. I deserve my farm back. And these lamb chops, these pork chops, these show ponies, they don't deserve an ounce of a farm.
Do you have any follow-up questions?
So, after your initial attempt to retake the farm, you were effectively out of the picture for most of the lifetime of Animal Farm, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you made no additional attempts to regain the farm, whether through violence or through the courts?
No, I had a bad case of popcorn lung. Oh, I couldn't fight no more. I was getting a little bit old.
That's all for my questions. Thank you.
Hearken to my joy, peace of Ireland, peace of every land inclined. Hearken to my joyful tidings.
Alright, next we'd like to call Napoleon to the stage. Napoleon, have you prepared a statement?
I have.
Alright, it's a minute to read it at this time.
I think it's clear to see the success of Animal Farm.
Objection.
Overruled.
We have done exactly what we've set out to do. A cause that every animal on Animal Farm was in support of. We've done it. This should call for celebration and recognition of the leaders who paved the way for the revolution. When we were in most need of a leader to keep the spirit of the revolution alive. 'Cause have we done a revolution? You all know just as well as me that old Major wanted what was best for us. And with his absence, there seems to be a calling for someone to fulfill. And I felt as though I needed to be that person to step up and fight for you all. So just remember, although it may seem difficult for you at points, know that change is not easy. Revolution is not easy. It takes sacrifice. Something that I think each and every one of us has endured. And while at times it might feel hopeless, it was all done for something. So, if you ever doubt Animal Farm, remember who this is for. We did this for Major. I have done this because it is what Major would have wanted. I did this. Remember who's on your side and who's against you. We're all on Major's side. I'm on Major's side. Objection! I'm on your side. I don't ask for much, but look around. I see it only fair to show your gratitude by being on my side. I'm the good guy.
Four legs good, two legs better.
Four legs good, two legs better.
So, for most of your rule over Animal Farm, you acted effectively as a dictator. You only held elections once and drove any opponents off under threat of violence. Is that correct?
Like I said, change takes time. It usually gets worse before it gets better. And I know some people are not pleased with everything that I've done, but know that it was for a reason. And if you trust in me, then you'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because it's for you all.
Could you briefly describe the difference in conditions between when the animals were under Jones and now?
Well, look around. Is Jones here? Is Jones running Animal Farm? No. That's what we wanted. And look what we got.
Yes, but the living conditions of the animals, other than the pigs, are quite similar, aren't they?
Amen. I would say no. I would say exactly how we laid it out. You can attest to squealing.
And you sent Boxer off in a van on close slaughter, correct?
Here's the thing. All these animals here have said that. Can any of these animals read? How do we know? Can we trust them?
Yes. For the record, multiple of these animals can read. I believe many of the dogs began to read, and Muriel then. Is that correct?
Whose side of the dogs are?
The dogs were not one complete unit. There were some on your side and some that opposed that, as evidenced by, I believe, Jesse's earlier testimony.
One more question.
Is that correct?
Can you repeat?
Okay, sorry. So, were the dogs split on their opinion of you? Obviously, you have your guards here, but you also had the earlier testimony.
I think that some are very loyal to me, and I think that others just don't see the spirit of the revolution the way I do.
Objection! You raised them to be loyal to you. That doesn't count.
It's true. Period.
Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Next, we'd like to call Snowball to the stand.
I got you. Oh, it's not focusing at all. Oh my god. I don't want like an ass shot. Not the pillow bag. And nothing but the shoes.
You prepared a statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're permitted to read it at this time.
Good day, comrades. Thank you for welcoming me back after my militant exile. Comrades, I am so proud of all the work and dedication that you've put into to escape the two-leggers and keep this farm afloat. But you've been fighting and laboring for a society we have never dreamt of. I've been forced to watch from outside these fences as your children have been slaughtered, your production and rations robbed, and your labor unending. Napoleon is not our comrade. Napoleon is nothing more than a bloody two-legger. Ooh. He is a fraud who has dragged your lives from the possibilities of greatness that Comrade Major once inspired upon us, and instead brought you great toil. But don't let that deter you from the undeniable pain and suffering which brought us here. Two legs are bad. Humans treated us in the same way that Napoleon does now. We were nothing more than a tool used to benefit them, so let us not forget that they have nothing to offer us. And the answer is in no circumstances to return to them. You mustn't ever settle, comrades. Not for rule of humans or rule under Napoleon. You must fight until you live in the comfort which these fruitful fields allow. Sufficient rations, 3-day work weeks, retirement, and life are not up for debate. These are your endowed rights, and we mustn't stop until they are obtained. I remind you, comrades, that the way to get these rights is the true animism Major once dreamt of. Not this same old Manor Farm. A better world is still possible. Napoleon was corrupt, but he is the exception and not the rule. We must take the farm from Napoleon and reinstate a world abiding by the original 7 commandments, where all animals are equal and none adopt the practices of two-leggers.
Yeah.
And we must spread this prosperity to every land and clime, and with the whispers of rebellion until we are all free and equal. Now, comrades, I admit that I have failed, drinking the milk of the other pigs. It was a moment of weakness, but I truly never wanted anything for you but the best. This is why I led you into the Battle of Cowshed and took bullets to the back, despite what bastard squealer has brainwashed upon you. I have forgiven you for watching me be chased out by rabid dogs, and if you forgive me for my mistakes, I will work my hardest to free you from your shackles. Not as your leader, but as your equal, only seeking to assist you with my intellectual abilities, as we cannot allow pigs or any animals to receive the superiority which they've garnered in this life. And if not me, keep the farm for yourselves, and don't bend to the rule of anyone. You have nothing to lose but your chains, comrades, and a reward to gain. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. just one
4 legs bad, 2 legs good.
Order.
Were you ever involved in either of the plots to destroy the windmill, as Napoleon and Squealer have claimed?
No, this is defamation upon my name. I have never.
Thank you.
Let the record show that if the bell happens to ring, hang tight for a minute. We're almost done. All right. Your teacher will write your passes. At this time.
That's a big belly.
Have you prepared a statement?
I have.
Let me read it at this time.
May I, my love?
Hear ye, ladies and gentlemen. I've come for you today to advocate on the behalf of my dear friend and companion, Mr. Pilkington. You see, I thought I would support a local business by buying lumber in order to build my eco-friendly wooden veneers, but once I realized the corruption and totalitarianism on the farm, I knew it was time for something to change. I tried to warn all of you about the squalor, oppression, and famine that was taking place on that farm, but you wouldn't listen. The animals need a leader, one with a forceful, responsible hand. They need a human like Mr. Pilkington. They do not need another person that shoves propaganda down their throats and false dreams of a society where nobody is selfish. Snowball's utopia is not possible. The real world is beautiful. The real world is ruthless. Had the animals defended themselves before the windmill was destroyed by my men, they would have earned my respect, but they didn't. And this is a clear sign of inadequate leadership. How many animals have died since Napoleon took the reins of Manor Farm? And you pigs claim you're the cleverest of all? Tell that to the counterfeit bills you stole in your coffers. And I bet you can't even spell equality. And when Mama Jones is in charge, he can handle a shotgun about as well as my Meemaw. And even she knows not to peer down the barrel of a shotgun to check if it's loaded. He was weak enough to succumb to the beasts of every land he climbed. Twice, I might add, and spent the rest of his days drowning his sorrows in booze. He is no leader. The success of Manor Farm is dependent on healthy and regulated control. Our best and only option is diplomatic, empathetic, and pragmatic. Without further ado, I present to you the illustrious and exceedingly qualified Mr. Pilkington.
Thank you, my love. All right. Since the very beginning, I have watched from Foxwood, and I've watched the revolution. Listen. I admit, I was fairly skeptical of animalism at first. I mean, Frederick Jones and I had been running our farms a certain way.
Order, stop
But the movement has never been as unified as you all have made it. You all have made it seem. Sweet Molly all she wanted was to hold on to the small luxuries of sugar cubes and ribbons, and as she always had. And you robbed her of that, not me. I even tried to enter trade relations with Animal Farm, and while yes, there is a bit of separation of trust just because I'm a human and you guys are animals, I have always been much preferred to Frederick here. We know each other, so I can be honest about this. All right. Frederick was hated and feared by everyone. All right, everyone knows that he abused his animals in cruel ways, bribed the police for the deed to Animal Farm, even threatening to lead an attack to get it himself. He blew up your windmill.
Yeah, I did.
I am the only human left that you can trust. I understand that I'm not a perfect option, but Napoleon has been nothing but cruel, and Squealer has tricked and manipulated you into believing that he's the best option. You all know that's not true. And the farm has changed so much since Snowball left that he wouldn't even recognize it, let alone be able to lead it. It would be a shame to hand the deed to Mr. Jones. Giving him back ownership would erase all progress that has been made. Be honest with yourselves. The best option is to hand it back to me and Frederick.
Object.
Under LGBTQ leadership, all of it will thrive. And I will support animalism from now into the future. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, may be seated. Members, esteemed members of the jury, you've been handed sheets, so if you could on there write your name, whether you are a human or an animal, and who you believe should receive the deed to the farm. We will adjourn court today, and tomorrow we will receive the results of the jury's verdict. At this time, court is adjourned. Hey, give yourselves a round of applause. That was. Hey, if you guys need passes, I'll write you a pass. Or if you just went ahead to class.
Yay, best bailiff.
Best bailiff.
One.
Judge J. Tim. This letter is in regards to the matter of the estate of Animal Farm, formerly known as Manor Farm. To start, the court would like to thank the citizens of Manor Farm, of Animal Farm, and all other surrounding lands for their participation and attention to this matter. After carefully reviewing all the evidence presented and hearing the testimonies of all involved parties, the jury has come to a decision. In the case of Manor Farm, this court hereby rules the deed to Manor Farm will be awarded to Snowball. The deed to this land and therefore ownership of it shall be transferred to Snowball effective immediately.
Beast of England, beast of Ireland, beast of Ireland, freelance inclined.
So, Snowball, we have the deed to Animal Farm. Sidebar, this is the actual Wisconsin deed that they do in court. I had to make an account and it was a long process. First I almost had to pay $100 to make an account, and then so I did something different. But so this is the official England general warranty deed. So this deed made the 6th day of December 2024 between Judge J. Tim, the grantor, with the address of 227 West Pleasant Street, party of the first part, and Snowball, the grantee, with the address of Animal Farm, party of the second part. Witnesseth that the grantor, in consideration of $0 lawful money of England paid by the grantee, does hereby grant, convey, and release unto the said grantee forever all its interests in the premises more particularly described as follows. Ownership of Animal Farm, formerly known as Manor Farm.
You gotta pay taxes now.
You have to pay taxes. Can you please sign?
Yeah. The mouse. Yeah.
All right, now for the acknowledgement of the notary public. On this day, personally appeared before me, Judge J. Tim, who has proved to me on the basis of satisfactory evidence to be the person whose name is described in and who executed the foregoing instrument, and acknowledged that he signed the same as his free and voluntary act and deed for the uses and purposes therein mentioned. Witness my hand and notarial, I don't know if that's how you say that word, seal, the 6th day of December 2024.
It needs to be framed forever.
I think so.
Alright, Alright, order in the court.
All animals. But some are more equal than others.